Levi, do you like the new room set up like this?
Yes.
So I've been working out here. I got the long sofa that was over there out of the back porch. It's literally sitting out there on the ground, waiting for somebody to come in their tractor. And you can see he's already made himself at home. I sat that cattywampus because if it sits straight out into the room, then there's no walk area. It gives Levi the opportunity to like throw his head here and face the TV and still have view of the fireplace, which is, you know, the whole point of the back porch being closed in is that there's a fireplace and a TV, and it gives us another sitting area in the fall, in the winter, and some days in the spring. Besides that, I'm pretty happy with this so far, the way it looks. I've got, well, the refrigerator's out here now. I've got some stuff to go through over there, egg cartons and stuff like that. Need to go in this cabinet. That's where I usually keep them, in this first cabinet. I need to clean off the table. It's just got some random stuff on it. This refrigerator that needs to go back to Walmart still sitting in the middle of the room. I mean, it's so upsetting that it didn't. I mean, look, it's still all set up. I mean, I only needed it to hold a box with eggs in it. And it just couldn't get cool enough. And this fridge over here, the one that's in the house, that was always in the house, has the same thermostat. Look at that dirt. Don't look at that dirt. I don't know if y'all can see on camera. Well, it's slowly climbing because now it's out here, but it was right at 40 earlier today. So now that I've pulled it out and my hand's on it, it's climbing. But it ain't 52, so praise God. I like the way this opens this up. So there's just a few things I'm still trying to decide. Not decide, but just get where to move it right now until I can get it completely out of here. Like that's dumpster. I will keep the rolling cart and I will keep the top part of Rosie's cage because I don't know if, did I even do a video on that? How I brought her cage down to just one section and got rid of the rolling thing so I could clean underneath it. I can sweep now. And I took the stick, the crepe myrtle limb that she had, and I cut it down and I screwed it to that trim right there. And so now she's got a real wood trim. The other one was hooked, I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was hooked to, well, for a while I had a chair there, and that limb was hooked to that chair. But then it made the chair not usable because there was a limb hooked to it, a tall limb, the bottom section of that limb. So what I did was just chopped it off at a good spot that would make it rest against the wall easy. And it gave her two perches at the top to hang on. So I like it better. Now I can sweep all underneath her swing, her cage where some of her food goes, and leave, oh dear me, I can't talk, feathers when she does that little shaking stuff she does. Okay, so, yeah, but I don't want to get rid of that yet, because what if something happens and I need to put her back on that? That's what that is. That is her bird. That came as a set. A tall cage came in two sections where you could do a short section or a tall section with the rolling cart. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to put it out in my storage shed, the one where I store lumber. Just push it up out of the way, and that's where that's going to stay. I know my voice still has not come back. Sometimes it's more raspy than others, but I think it's okay. All right, so I did something after I had, okay, I'm going to have to say it. I'm just going to show you. When I moved the table over here out of the way so I could get the refrigerator and everything would have a straight shot into the kitchen. I love the openness that it gives me. I love, well, there's not open right now because I have this antique table. It's got 2 leaves in it. They're both in it right now. Yeah, they're both in it. Now it needs a little sanding and a little refinishing. There's some scratches on it, but it is an antique. I love the turned legs. And what I want to do is bring it down to its circle, just the circle table. Sit it directly in the middle of this room and put my little lantern on it. And because if you think about it, for the most part, I entertain once, maybe twice a month if I have to, but normally it's once a month. And then I entertain on Thanksgiving. So I built this table, so it does have a little bit of sentimental value. But as far as antique goes, there's nothing antique about this table except for the legs that I salvaged from the old dining room table in my house after the fire. And for the most part, it looks like it looks like it all goes together. I was able to match the stain to the color of the legs, and you can see it high where the fire was coming down on it. So the bottom of the legs didn't get, but you can see this got, flame touching it toward the top. But I just love the open. When I had that out of the way, I loved the open. I had it, now there's not open right there, but the room was, and I was thinking, I want that openness. I want that not so. My problem is, what do I do with this table? Do I take it apart? Because that's the only other thing I could do. Take it apart. Save the legs for something that I might want to do with the legs one day. And the top is made out of 2x8s. Put them to the side somewhere. Use them on something. Make shelving out of them because they're stained and they're polished. I could do anything I want with it. But I thought for the time being, and I know it's just another something to drag out here. Before I do all that, I paid $35 for that antique table with the 2 leaves. I think that was an extraordinary deal. I mean, extraordinary deal. If I end up selling that or getting rid of that because I can't take it anymore and it's too small and I don't like putting it together when it is time for me to cook, it's $35 and it's not sentimental to me. Does that even make sense? Hold on. I don't even know if that makes sense. But the big table, like I said, the only sentimental thing is that I built it myself and the legs came from an antique table in the old house and that didn't burn. So that's kind of a big deal. So I thought, don't look behind me, there's stuff that I'm getting rid of. I thought maybe I should just bring it out here on the porch. It is long. It is 90 inches long, not quite 8 foot. I could put it long ways in this dining pass-through area. Will still give me room to get to the refrigerator. And just leave it until I decide if the little table is okay with me, if I'm happy with it. If months go by and I love it so much, I love the open, blah, 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 then I know then that I can do something with the big table. Now, nobody's going to want it. It wasn't that long ago that Mom got rid of her big table and went to a small table. And I chewed her out because I was like, you have to host, certain, Sundays and there's things you have to host and you need that big table. But her other table has actually been just fine. It has leaves in it too that she could take out, but she said she found that it was a pain in the butt pulling it out and putting the leaves in and putting them back. I feel like that's not a pain to me because you're only going to do it once a month, maybe twice a month, usually once. So that doesn't really bother me at all. And when this table in here has the 2 leaves in it like it is now, it's 73 inches long. That's pretty long. My other one's 90. So what is that, 17 inches? I mean, I guess that's almost a butt. But how many times does, half of the family sits, well, several people in the family sit in the living room anyway, at the coffee table, watching, especially right now with football back, they're watching football. So it doesn't really bother me that I'm losing, 17 inches of the length. So that's what I did. I did that yesterday. My red truck is in the shop having the transmission replaced. Praise God. So when I found this table, it was just in New Caney on Marketplace. And I contacted them. And because specifically, not only was it only $35, but it said, we'll deliver if it's in a reasonable distance. And they didn't say what they would pay to deliver. I didn't even give them the option. I offered them an amount, was table plus, because it said they were in New Caney. I'm 10 minutes from New Caney one way. Once you get out of this neighborhood, 20 tops, depending on what part of New Caney they're in. So I offered an amount as, is it still available? And I offered an amount, table plus this money for delivery. And it was young, I want to say kid. I don't know how old he was, but he looked like a kid. He delivered it, and he said, it was really cute. He said, you look so familiar. And I said, I do? I said, did you go to Cleveland school? And he said, no. And I said, did you go to Splendora schools? I said, I drove a bus for Cleveland, and I drove a bus for Splendora. And he said, no. He said, did you sell a bicycle? A 3-wheel bicycle? And I said, yes. He goes, my mom bought that bicycle. And I said, oh my gosh, it's such a small world that I sold a bicycle about a year ago. And here his mama is selling a table that I end up with one. It was just funny. It's just funny how those things work. Anyway, we're going to see. I'm going to move this refrigerator away. I'm going to get Levi to help me bring the table out. And then we're going to set up the little table in the center of the room. And then I've got to finish, working on my house. I'm going to work at Jamie's tomorrow. So I want a little bit more done in my house, kitchen, dining area, where everything sort of got, in disarray during the remodel. There's still some things that need to be figured out. Not making it dirty, just needs to be picked up and put away and put in its place where it's going to go. So I will see y'all in a little bit. Okay, I can't decide yet, and I'm not going to make a decision right away. I love the room. Look at this room going to the door. And the same, now I don't have a stool here. Might have to build one. Look how much room here. There's normally, basically, this is the spot that you have when the other table is here. You have a little bit of rug. I would say it's something like this. That's about it. And the same with down there. It's almost to the end of the rug. And it is at the end of the rug when Daddy sits down. So, I don't know. I keep stepping on a screw somewhere. There it is. I don't know. I love the size. And then again, I sort of don't know if I like the size. So, I'm going to give it some time. Where's that remote? Fell down in here. There. All right, I'm going to give it some time just a few days. I had it in the circle. I didn't like the circle at all because I centered that light. It's just one of those big hooks in the ceiling. But I centered that over that long table. So in a circle, the center of the room is like here, like almost where this is sitting, but the light's over here. So I went ahead and put the 2 leaves. Both leaves are in. And this is how big it is. And as much as I like this big walking area around it, I don't know how much I like it. So I think in my mind, if you were in love with it, you would say, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got that table. And my mind is not saying, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got that table. So I don't know. I love the space. I love the space. I don't know. I have to think about it. All right. I love you guys. God bless y'all. And I will see you later. Levi, do you like the new room? Set up like this?
Yes, I like it.
I had to cattywampus this couch. And I just turned the table from straight to against the back like a sofa table. And then I moved, my chair used to sit right here, but I moved it in. So all this now is walking. It'll be open. Now the little refrigerator's still sitting here. It's got to go back to Walmart. But I got a fire going in the fireplace. He's got a movie going. And we're going to sit out here and watch a movie, huh? And eat our dinner.
He called her a fat butt.
Yes, he did call her a fat butt. But we're not watching that movie. I said I do not want to watch Men in Black, and I do not want to watch Redheaded Stranger. So he found the dilemma with Vince Vaughn. Anyway, we're going to have pork chop sandwiches. I made pork chops on the new grill. Y'all will be getting, y'all will probably see the video of that before you get this video. Anyway, they were really good pork chops. I've already eaten a couple of bites off one. But we made like little sandwiches with hamburger buns. So we're going to sit down here and we are going to look who's all comfortable. Doesn't matter where he's at. Yes, I know. Look at that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, this is where we're going to be for the evening for a little while. All right, I'll see y'all in a bit.